じゃあ勝負待つんですか。さっき、
皆さんようこそお越しくださいました。Welcome to Kobe, and I hope you have enjoyed your stay here. I'd like to hear a lot about your input and insights about our university, and I've been looking forward to this opportunity to discuss with you about media education collaboration hereafter. Well, part of our curriculum is about it's not. It's just
not coding.
It's not about coding,
Uh-huh.
but we have coding. But it's more like to nurture children's creativity and also
Use
the
Scratch.
uniqueness.
Use Scratch in the classroom.
Scratch. But the uniqueness of our curriculum is that it's cross-curriculum, cross-curricular
Yes.
activities. So we do programming in math
Yes.
and other like, subject areas.
In
like
each
science.
subject, you have something to do with them about communication.
Mhm. We don't have specific subject for computing. Rather, we mingle programming into regular subjects. Yeah.
Okay.
And also about media literacy, we don't have a subject media literacy. We do that mainly in Kokugo, Japanese language. So this our course of study, Japan upgrades course of study every 10 years. And the current one is just the very end of this decade. And the new one is coming next year. And when this started, they were aware of having more media literacy in the contents. And having been aware about this digital information society. But as you see, there's not so much digital in it. But in next course of study, they said 3 basic academic things as a basis for study. And one is problem solving, and the second is language ability, and the third is information. What do you say? 情報活用能力って何て言うんでしょうね。活用能力。It's how to interpret.
Come dire utilizzo, come utilizzare le informazioni.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ability to use information, where that includes how to gather information, how to process, analyze information, and how to present information. So they have this information, ability to use information as a basis of all the academic performance. So elementary schools and middle schools, they have to nurture this skill throughout all the subjects. So I believe that when the new textbook comes out, there might be more like digital incorporated into this kind of contents. The basic of information use ability is in Japanese language subject.
So what we'd like to know is if you are interested in filling our cooperation agree with some issues of research. And I think that a value of this cooperation is the chance we can work in a comparative way on issues like such as I don't know, for instance, what the children view, watch, and use in their own lives into their families, for instance. And it may be a research about media consumption, social media consumptions, video games utilization, and the comparative research could lead us to know something about different or similar behaviors in Japan and in Italy. Or a second issue may be how teachers in the schools use technologies. That is another quite interesting thing, because in Italy, for instance, is about 20-25 years that we are trying to introduce technology into the classroom. Until nowadays, we aren't able to see some effective differences into the practices of the teachers. I put an interactive whiteboard, I put computers or tablets, but the behaviors remain the same that they had before we began to introduce technology. So a second issue may be the use of technology by teachers into the schools. And a third interesting thing for me is the use of technologies of education in higher education. What kind of use we scholars, we teachers in the university are doing of the technologies themselves into our classroom. In Italy, our didactic in higher education is quite a tradition. We have a lot of lectures. We have no interaction or less interaction than lectures. So I think that we could have the chance to stress these issues on both of our two countries and to imagine to produce some comparative results, imagining to a common seminar. I already told with Yamamoto Sensei about this chance to organize a workshop, a seminar, not every year, but for instance every 1 year and 1 year every 2 years. So you can imagine that now we come to Italy, we start to plan our next stay in Japan in 2020, 2021. In that case, we can imagine to have both the activities of the students with your students, but also an academic activity into which Japanese teachers and Italian teachers could work about one of these issues and imagine a collaboration in the field of research. I think that it could add more value to our cooperation, because nowadays what our Minister of Education asks to us is international cooperation, producing research and producing articles and books and so on. I don't know. This may be my idea. I don't know what you think about this.
Let me translate a little bit.
Okay.
So as he said, not many public schools have
the
ICDs, but however, there's a disparity between those who have and those who don't. And the school we're going to visit on Tuesday, they are a designated school where they have it's not IWB, but interactive display installed in every classroom, and they have tablet PCs for every child. So that one has that is a public school, and there are lots of other designated schools around the area. So together with these schools, we may be able to do something together. And That's one. And I'm working closely with the Board of Education at Hyogo Prefecture and trying to help teachers use technology. So your suggestion number 2 might be a possibility for me personally. And about, I can do workshop for your students probably next year about how to use technology in classrooms as well as how teachers here are using technology. Although the classrooms, class management is pretty much different from probably Italy or other countries. Here in Japan, one teacher is in charge of 40 students, and which is you'll see on Tuesday. So the class lesson style is very different. It's more like they have to do the same thing together. Otherwise, the kids gonna go scattered around and do this here and do that there, and one teacher is not enough to manage the class. However, I think there are many things that we can offer to learn from the practice of technology used in that kind of classroom. So that's a possibility, I think. And about higher education, our university has LMS, learning management system, used in one classroom for information technology, which is introductory class to information technology. And we are now trying to upgrade the LMS so that students can learn more individually as well as more, critically. Critically means that they just don't follow the textbook, rather they just have to find information themselves and learn themselves, more autonomous learning. So we are now discussing about that. So we can work on that field, like how to use LMS to make as a platform for better learning environment in higher education.